Welcome to KW Fit, I'm Ken. In this video, we're going to talk about the proper mechanics of performing a squat. I'm also going to deal with a couple of myths that have been out there for ages. Should you squat lower than thighs parallel to the floor? Should your knee go out past your toe? Well, I'm going to answer those questions coming up next. Before we get into the actual mechanics of the squat, there's two myths I need to dispel. The first myth is that you should never squat lower than having your thighs parallel to the ground. Now, I don't know where this came from, but obviously that person has never had to pick up a child off the floor, wash the wheels on their truck, pick a box up off the garage floor, or do any type of landscaping or anything like that. It's just crazy. Chances are, if you're watching this video late in the day, you've already squatted lower than that a half dozen times just to tie your shoe and to get ready to go to work. So the idea that you shouldn't squat any lower than that is completely crazy. There's no reason why we don't want to train like real life in the gym. That's the whole purpose of working out, is so that it makes our lives better when we're outside of the gym. So that's ridiculous. You need to squat as low as you possibly can and are able to squat. Now, I'm not talking about if you've got knee problems, back problems, ankle problems, or whatever, you need to heed the advice of whatever your doctor or your physical therapist has told you and go as low as what is safe for you. But if you're physically able, go as low as you possibly can. The second myth is that your knee should never travel out past your toe. Now, this comes from a study that was done over 30 years ago and it's been debunked multiple times, yet I still hear trainers telling this to their clients, and it drives me crazy. The main thing here is it depends on the skeletal makeup of your body. If you're somebody with long legs and small feet, chances are when you go down to the bottom of your squat, your knee is going to go out past your toe, and that's perfectly fine. If you're someone with short legs and big feet, chances are your knee is not going to go out past your toe when you get to the bottom of the squat. The main thing is it depends on how your body is made up. In fact, there was a study done in 2003 that shows that if you limit the movement of your knees forward, it actually causes more stress on your hips than it does that you're trying to prevent on your knees. So don't get hung up on whether or not your knee is going out past your toe. It's really going to depend on your body. Okay, so now that we're done with those myths, let's get on to the actual mechanics of doing a squat. So we're going to start with our feet about shoulder width apart. Some people might be a little bit wider than that. It just really depends on what's comfortable for you. And your toes are going to be angled out slightly. From here, you want to make sure that you're in a straight line. You don't want one foot out in front of the other. One of the things we're going to do to help make sure that our hip stays in alignment with our feet is we're going to contract our glutes. When you contract your glutes, it's going to bring your hips right in alignment with your heels so you're not twisting one way or the other. From there, you want your chest out nice and proud, shoulders down and back. Maintain that natural curve that's in your lower back, in that lumbar there. And here, you're going to just kick your butt out like you're about to sit down into a chair and bring your butt down towards your heels. As you go down, you're going to hinge at the hips, at the knees, and at the ankles, and you're going to go as low as you possibly can. Make sure you don't roll up onto the balls of your feet when you come down here. If you feel like your heels are starting to lose contact with the ground, then you're going too low. You need to come up a little bit. When I get all the way to the bottom here, I want you to notice that my shins and my back are pretty much at the same angle here at the bottom. And if I'm holding a weight, the shoulders are in line with that weight and the center of my feet down here. From here, I'm pressing through the floor, keeping my heels down in contact with the floor, up into an upright position. So once again, lower your butt down towards your heels, go as low as you possibly can. If you can only go this low, that's fine. A lot of it's going to depend on your flexibility, your balance, and how well you can stabilize your core. But you're going to go down as low as you can, push through your heels back into an upright position like that. Another thing to remember is to make sure that your knees stay in proper alignment. You don't want them to buckle in or to bow out as you're going up and down. If you start feeling your knees moving back and forth, then chances are you're using too much weight. So you need to lower the amount of weight that you're using, make sure you can maintain proper form, and then work your way back up to heavier weights as you go. Now, once you can get to 15 reps, doing it with body weight, now it's time to add some more resistance like dumbbells, the backpack, or resistance bands. I'm going to get into that now. So when it comes to resistance bands, I'm going to take the bands and I'm going to put them underneath both feet, line them up right underneath my arches. I'm going to put my feet out about shoulder width apart in the same stance that we just went over. I'm going to come down first, bring the bands up behind my shoulders like that, and then come up into an upright position. Now that doesn't count as one rep. That's just getting into position. From here, I'm going to start counting my reps. I'm going to bring my butt down to my heels like this, come as low as I possibly can. Once I get to the bottom, press through my heels, keeping my feet flat on the ground, back into an upright position. That's one rep. Go back down, and up. That's 2 reps. Now, once you've done the number of reps you need to do, come all the way back down, and from here, exit out of the bands, okay? If you try to step off of those bands where you're in the upright position, they're gonna fly up and hit you. So think safety first, and make sure you exit this move from the bottom. Now let's move on to how to do this with dumbbells. So with the dumbbells, I'm gonna hold them on either side, just like this, and it's the same movement, okay? My chest is out nice and proud, my shoulders are down and back. I'm just gonna lower my butt down to my heels. I'm gonna go low as I possibly can. Once I get down to the bottom, I'm gonna press through my heels back up into an upright position. So this is one more time. I'm gonna go down, bring the butt down to my heels as low as I can go, and then pressing through the floor back into an upright position. Now let's move on with the backpack. When it comes to the backpack, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, oh, I can just put a bunch of weight in this thing, throw it on my back, and do a bunch of squats. Actually, I don't want you to do that. It's very difficult to maintain proper posture with this thing on your back as you're going up and down. So instead, we want the weight out in front of us. I'm going to take my hands, I'm going to bring them through the straps like this and cross them in front of me. I'm going to hug the bag to my chest like this. From here, I'm going to lower my butt down to my heels, like so. Let the bag go in between my knees and then come back up into the upright position. By having the bag here in front of me, my feet are helping to keep me from going forward, and I can maintain my balance a lot better than if this thing was strapped to my back. So once again, I'm going to go back down, let the bag go in between my knees, and then come back up into an upright position. Now, I know we covered a lot of information in this video, so let's do a quick summary of some of the things that we've learned. First of all, you need to go as low as you can safely go. Now, if you feel any type of pain during this movement, you might need to back off or consult with your doctor about how low you should perform your squat. Secondly, don't worry about whether or not your knee goes out past your toe. That's perfectly fine. Your feet should be in a straight line. Your toes should be angled out slightly. You want to contract your glutes so that you keep your hips in line with your heels and you're not twisting from side to side. Also, make sure that your shoulders are down and back and that your back is nice and straight. You want to maintain that natural curve that's in the lower part of your back. Your chest should be out nice and proud, and as you go down, make sure that your heels stay in contact with the floor through the entire movement. Don't round out your back or your shoulders during the move, and press through your heels on the way back up. Also, make sure that your knees don't buckle in or bow out. Okay, so there you have it. We dispelled a couple of myths today. We went through the proper mechanics of doing a squat. I also showed you how to add some resistance, whether you're using resistance bands, dumbbells, or a backpack. Hopefully you found this video very helpful. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Leave us some comments down below. Also, let us know if you have other questions. We'll be more than happy to put together more videos like this. That's it. I'll see you next time.